Hello and welcome to this podcast, Manu Garg. It's really a big pleasure to have you on our show today. And let me tell everybody that Manu Garg is a perfect example of the saying, "When the going gets tough, the tough get going." Diagnosed with a rare optic disease when he was studying in the middle school and very heavily challenged with eyes which were unable to read, Manu overcame this obstacle with confidence and now has successfully cleared the UPSC exam, which is a very big achievement for him, for his family, and for all of us. Before we get to the further questions, we'd like to welcome you, Manu. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast. It's indeed all the pleasure is mine.
Okay, before we go further, we would like to go back to the time when you were suddenly faced with a world of darkness around you and everything went kind of blur. So, how did you cope with it, and what were those initial moments that you were grappled with?
During my entire life before 8th class, I had a pretty usual lifestyle. I could study, I could do everything that other people were doing. But I distinctly remember during the 8th class, suddenly I felt like that I was not able to read or write. All the things around me seems blurry. Before that also there were problem in my eyesight that I wore spectacles, but it was manageable. It didn't emerge to be a very big issue. But after 8th class, it aggravated to a level where I was not able to manage even daily chores and even daily work life. So whenever my chance of reading used to come in those classes, I was not able to read out from the books. Also, I was not able to visualize the board even after sitting on the first bench. So I thought that with this issues, I won't be able to continue my studies, and this won't allow me to continue my academics journey further. So I remember I told my mother that I am facing certain issues. This led us to different premier hospitals of Jaipur, where I was diagnosed with a rare genetic disease called as retinitis pigmentosa along with nystagmus. So in this disease, the retina of my eye, the cells, the rod and cone cells on the retina, they are degenerating with time. So they are losing the capacity to form the image, and this is a progressive disease. So it was to deteriorate further in my journey. So during those times, there was immense support from my mother as she pulled up her socks to read out the entire syllabus for me, and she emerged to be the pillar of my strength so that I could continue my life in a normal way. She didn't let me realize that I had certain lacuna or any disability as such, if we call it. So she was the person who helped me to transition well to the disability adjusted life years.
That's wonderful. So, in those growing years, as you were a teenager in school, this big setback coming to you as a blow, and yet you do fantastic performances in the 10th, 11th, and 12th standard. How does that happen?
Sir, it was only due to my mother, because at that point of time I was not aware about the technology that could be used to study. I was completely dependent on my mother reading out notes, class notes, NCRT books, and all the other material, reading material to me. So she used to go to the schools, and she used to go to the school and take out all the class notes from my friends and classmates, and then after coming to home, she used to read out the entire syllabus to me. So I could memorize whatever she said and dictate it to the scribe in the examination. So by this, I was able to write my papers in 10th boards, in 11th and 12th.
So, you had a writer with you to write the exams?
Yes, CBSE has a provision that one can opt for a scribe who is one class junior than the candidate. So I chose many scribes during my examinations who was one class junior to me.
All right. Would you tell us the score that you achieved in 10th standard and 12th standard?
Sir, in class 10th, I got 9.8 CGPA, because at that point of time there was the cumulative grade point system. And the only 0.2 marks that I lost upon was due to the mathematics subject, because being visually impaired and to solve mathematical questions was a little tricky. And after the 10th class, I was given a choice to choose between informatic practices and economics in humanities. So informatic practices is a subject which is related to computer science, where we have to do complex coding operations on the computer screen. So at that point of time, many people were apprehensive that I won't be able to do coding or calculations on the computer if I'm not able to see the monitor itself. But again, the school administration of St. Xavier School, Jaipur, was cooperative enough to enable me to take this subject, and they never discouraged me to not go for it. If they said that if it is in my interest, then I should continue it. And with immense pleasure, I can share that in informatic practices, this subject, I got full marks, 100 out of 100 in the CBSE 12th boards, and total I got 94% in my 12th boards.
That's really commendable to see that IP being a subject which is requiring a lot of screen and all that, you still managed to top in IP, and in your 12th standard you really performed so well. After you finished schooling, you went into college, and those were the COVID days. So how did COVID play a spoiled sport, and you went to college, and how did you kind of cope up with that new environment to which we all were pretty new for?
The school provided me with a cocoon where I was protected in a safe space. But moving out to Delhi, it was a difficult choice because I was getting admission in NIRF first rank institution, Hindu College, University of Delhi, and I couldn't miss this opportunity. But moving to a different place, and a place like Delhi, it was a difficult choice to make. My mother migrated with me to Delhi, and she accompanied me to face all the problems that were coming along with a new city. Then I went to Hindu college, but most of the time period at college was lost in the COVID days as quarantine and lockdown was a norm. So we had to migrate back to Jaipur, and everything, all my classes and activities moved to the online setting.
After you finished your graduation, do tell us about the subjects that you had in college, and also tell us what happened after your college. How did you decide and selecting your subjects for the masters?
So during college, my subjects were history and political science. I did BA program course at Hindu College. I was keenly interested in the subject of political science since my very childhood because I was quite appreciative of the institution of state and how it operates in the society and what big role it plays. So during the college days, I decided to prepare for the UPSC examination because it was a seat that was sown earlier, but it took shape during the COVID days because I had a lot of time at hand. I could use that time to prepare for the UPSC. So during the college days, I started with UPSC, and when I finished my graduation, I was just less than 21 years of age. And there is a criteria in UPSC that anyone who is less than 21 cannot appear for this examination. So I had time at hand. So I applied for the master's course at School of International Studies, JNU, and I took the subject of political science along with international relations in it.
From what I hear about UPSC is that it's one of the country's toughest exam, and with already so much of tough things going on in your life, was it not an impossible task for you to have even thought that you could crack it, because there are different stages, there's prelims and there's interviews and there's written, and it's quite complex, and like many people almost reach there and then they just somehow fall down the ladder. So how did you equip yourself with that kind of determination to feel that you would be able to crack it one day?
So the academic journey and the laurels that I had in my academic journey motivated me that I can appear for this examination also. Because at Hindu College, I was in a batch of 100 best of the best minds of India who were pursuing the course, but still I was able to achieve second rank in my entire batch. And that was an achievement that motivated me that if I can do well during the college days, that in a premier institution like Hindu College, then that credentials can also happen in UPSC examination. Also, during the COVID days, I had participated in many of the events, cultural events and fest all around DU. Some events like debates, essay writing competitions, article writing, and I had got prizes in them also. I have about 150 merit certificates in these activities. So these things also motivated me that if I can perform in all India competitions and can win prizes in it, then UPSC I would also be able to do. I had also appeared for similar examinations like CUET and URAT before appearing for UPSC to get admission in JNU. So getting a good rank in those examinations was also a motivating factor.
वंदना जी, मनु गर्ग खुद कहता है कि अगर आप नहीं होते तो ये सपना पूरा नहीं होता, और जाहिर सी बात है कि आपके सैक्रिफाइसेस और आपका जो प्रयास और जो स्नेह रहा है मनु के प्रति, उसी की वजह से शायद आज ये ख्वाब हकीकत में बदल चुका है. तो आप अपने बारे में बताइए कि किस तरह से आपने मनु के साथ साया बन के दिन रात उसके साथ आप उसकी आंखें बन के उसकी पढ़ाई आपने की, और जो समय और जो त्याग आपने दिया है उसके बारे में हमें बताइए.
हाँ, मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगी कि मन्नू और मेरी जो जर्नी थी स्टार्टिंग फेज में बहुत कूल तरीके से अच्छे से चल रही थी. कि मन्नू रैंक से लेके आ रहा था, मतलब कि फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड ऐसे पूरा 7th 8th क्लास तक. अब अचानक से जब मेरे को मन्नू ने बताया कि 8th क्लास में कि मेरे को बोर्ड का भी नहीं दिख रहा, मैं लिख भी नहीं पा रहा, इसने मेरे को आके बताया, तो ये मेरे लिए बहुत डिसहार्टनिंग था कि मैं करूँ तो क्या करूँ, क्या करना चाहिए मुझे, डॉक्टर्स के पास जाऊँ, स्कूल जाऊँ। तो मेरे को ये लगा कि पहले स्कूल ही जाना चाहिए, हाँ, फादर से और जो प्रिंसिपल है सेंट जेवियर स्कूल के टीचर से मिलना चाहिए कि मनु को वास्तव में दिक्कत क्या हो रही है। तो उन लोगों ने ये बताया कि मन्नू की प्रॉब्लम तो हो रही है कि राइटिंग अच्छी नहीं आ रही, मन्नू देख भी नहीं पा रहा ढंग से, लेकिन उन्होंने मुझे एक विश्वास दिलवाया कि आप घबराओ मत, हम लोग आपके साथ हैं और हम लोग फुल सपोर्ट करेंगे, आपको जो भी दिक्कतें आएगी हम लोग हैं आपके साथ साथ में। तो ये एक्चुअल में उन्होंने बोला नहीं, उन्होंने करके दिखाया है। और जो आज मन्नू का जो अचीवमेंट है, मैं बोलना चाहूँगी कि वो स्कूल को ही क्रेडिट जाता है सबसे पहले। अगर वो उस टाइम पे हम दोनों को सपोर्ट नहीं करते तो शायद हम लोगों का अचीवमेंट नहीं हो पाता। तो ये सब चीज़ें देखते हुए मैंने मन्नू को बोला कि जब स्कूल अपने साथ है, फैमिली मेम्बर्स में मेनली मेरे मम्मी पापा और सिस्टर्स और जो मेरे ब्रदर्स हैं, ये फुल सपोर्ट कर रहे थे मेरे को, क्योंकि मैं सिंगल पेरेंट हूँ और मन्नू एक सिंगल चाइल्ड था मेरे लिए। तो मेरे लिए एक बहुत दिक्कत थी कि मैं मतलब मदद लूँ तो मैं घर को से ही ले सकती हूँ या स्कूल से ले सकती हूँ। तो दोनों ही परिवार ने, दोनों फैमिलीज ने मेरे को इतना सपोर्ट किया कि मेरे को मुश्किलें नहीं नज़र आ रही थी, क्योंकि मनु का कैलिबर देखते हुए और मेरे को लग रहा है कि हाँ आप आराम से कूल तरीके से कर सकते हैं। तो आफ्टर 8th के बाद में जो मनु की जो रैंक्स आ रही थी और 9th 10th 11th 12th में इसने मेंटेन रखी और वही रैंक्स लेके आया, तो मेरे को इतनी खुशी हुई कि मन्नू को दिक्कत नहीं आने वाली है और मन्नू तू एक बहुत अच्छा करने वाला है आगे। क्योंकि मेरे को हर जगह से यही सुनने को मिलता था कि नहीं मन्नू अच्छा करेगा। तो हिंदू कॉलेज में गए हम दोनों, तो वहाँ पर मेरे लिए फिर चैलेंज आया कि मेरे को अब क्या करना चाहिए, क्योंकि मेरे को ना अब ये जयपुर तो छोड़ना ही पड़ेगा, मैं जयपुर से बिलोंग हूँ और वहाँ पर मैं अकेली होगी, यहाँ पर मेरे साथ स्कूल था और मेरे फैमिली मेम्बर्स थे, वहाँ पर मेरे को अकेले मन्नू को सपोर्ट करना है। लेकिन सभी ने मेरे को एक ही चीज़ बोल के रखा था कि आप स्ट्रांग बन के रहना वहाँ पर, और कोई भी ऐसी दिक्कत नहीं आएगी आपको, जैसे हम लोग मिले हैं आगे आपको ऐसे ही लोग मिल जाएंगे। तो ऐसे ही हुआ, कॉलेज में भी हम लोगों को ऐसे सपोर्ट मिला। आगे जेएनयू में मैंने जेआरएफ किया था, नेट जेआरएफ का एग्ज़ाम दिया, तो उसमें भी क्लियर करके इसने मतलब मास्टर्स करी जेएनयू के अंदर, उसके बाद में पीएचडी में एनरोल हुआ। ये सब कुछ देखते हुए मैंने बोला ये अंदर से मेरे को बहुत अच्छा फील होता था कि नहीं, दिक्कतें तो कमी आएगी कि मन्नू की जो डिसेबिलिटी है, डिसेबिलिटी नहीं है, ये चैलेंज नहीं है, मन्नू करेगा। मैं हमेशा सबको एक ही चीज़ बोलती थी, देखना मन्नू जो ये एग्जाम बोलते हैं टफेस्ट एग्जाम है, मन्नू क्लियर करेगा देखना, और विद रैंक करेगा। मेरे को अंदर से भी था, मैं बोल भी देती थी, मेरे में ये था कि मैं टीचर से भी शेयर कर लेती थी।
शायद यही पॉजिटिविटी जो आपके अंदर कूट कूट कर थी वो मनु के अंदर भी आया और फिर आप एक टीम बन करके आपने यूपीएससी को पछाड़ दिया।
क्योंकि अब मेरे को लगता है कि ये चीज़ अगर मैं मन्नू को, अगर मैं ऐसे बोलती कि मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी और सपोर्ट नहीं मिल रहा है कि नहीं, टीचर्स ऐसे बोल रहे हैं कि नहीं कर पाएगा, तो शायद वो मुश्किलें होती। लेकिन पॉजिटिविटी हर तरीके से मिली है और शायद मैं ही पिलर नहीं रही, ऑल राउंड जो चारों तरफ से जो मन्नू के साथ में जुड़े हुए हैं वो पिलर बन के रहे हैं और आंखें बन के रहे हैं मन्नू के साथ में, तभी ये सक्सेस हो पाया है। अकेले एक जने का एग्जाम नहीं था ये।
So, Manu, coming back to you, your mummy was talking about so much of positivity and good things that were happening. But somewhere in your own life also, were there moments where you really felt singled out, where you really felt that the light in the tunnel is getting really dim and dark? Or maybe there were some experiences or moments when you really felt that probably I'm embarking a wrong journey, or there is too many challenges for me to bear. Did you ever break down, or did any demeaning experience come into your life that shattered you really to the core?
Sir, it was my second attempt to this examination, and I remember in my first attempt, I was able to qualify prelims, but I couldn't make it to the interview call stage. I couldn't clear the main stage of this examination, and that was a very shattering moment for me, because I thought, seeing my previous performance, I would be able to qualify the UPSC examination in one go. But facing the first failure of my life in the main stage, it was very heartbreaking and very disappointing for me, and I thought that maybe I am not good enough for this examination, and the exam overwhelmed me. But at the same time, again I got a very good support in the form of a support system in my family, where they supported me and they said that UPSC is a very long journey and it requires patience. Persistence, patience are the qualities that are key if one has to appear for this examination, because the exam process is itself of 1 year, and the preparation precedes even to the school days and the college days, where the lessons of NCERT and the different subjects that we read are useful in this examination. So it requires patience, it requires resilience also, when one has to rise back from the failure and perform again.
So now that the tunnel is nearly through, how does it feel to see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Sir, it's a aesthetic feeling to finally have crossed the line and to have qualified this examination, and the level of response that I have received from the peer group and from the people around, the level of wishes that have poured in have completely overwhelmed me, and it is quite a good experience having crossed it. But at the same time, I think that whatever efforts I put in previously to clear this examination were for a personal cause to succeed a particular examination. But after clearing this examination, I think that my responsibilities were not limited to a particular examination, and it goes much beyond to the ambit of civil services and to do something for the society at large.
Okay, so if we look at what is happening now that the results are out and the success story has already begun, what's happening at this current moment and what lies ahead in front of Manu?
So at the current stage, I've got a lot of blessings, wishes, and even different kinds of appreciations from different strata of societies, and many people have come to me to share their problems and and the solutions, probable solutions that can be done to solve these issues. So at the current point of time, I devote most of the time in thinking that what would be my role and responsibilities in the future as a future bureaucrat. And in the recent future, I am expected to go to Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Labasna, in Masoorie, where I would be provided the training and the support to become an officer from a normal citizen of India.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'm sure there will be some more challenges waiting for you at that step also, because your mother is not going to be with you at that journey. But I'm sure you're now strong enough to take things on your own flight. Before we conclude, just want to know what are your attributes, because we talked so much about the challenges so far. But what is it that makes Manu so strong, so positive, like your mother? What is it that instills in you that firm faith and conviction that you can reach for the stars?
I think the quality of consistency is a thing that could differentiate me from other people, because I was consistent from even my school days. I had 100% attendance all throughout my school life, and I continued this consistency even in the later higher education stage. I did not take a break in my academic journey or leave it because I continued masters, and at the age of 23 even I pursued PhD. So this consistency of not leaving academics behind and to have a thing going along with UPSC, because UPSC can be tough, so it requires to be consistent and to be persistent, to continue efforts and to continue to strive to give your best for this examination. So I think this quality would be the key for my success.
So to wrap up this conversation, we'd like to just know what would be, in short, your success mantra for or takeaway for students who are aspiring to clear this exam, or for anybody in general to turn their disadvantages, to turn their flaws or their weaknesses into strength, and at the end of this journey, reach for the stars, reach for the successful endpoint.
For all the aspirants and students who are struggling in their lives currently and who wish to take something from here, I would suggest two things to them. Firstly, the role of social media. I would suggest that social media in today's time has emerged out to be a very disruptive force. It can have impact that can spill over to the real world also. So in my case, I used social media for a constructive, productive purpose to type down my notes or to listen to lectures for information purposes. So this disruptive tool should be tamed and should be used for one's own benefit. And there is a quotation that technology is a great servant, but at the same time, it is a dreadful master. So we should not let technology to be a dreadful master. So secondly, I would like to focus upon the aspect of mental health, because in today's time, people are facing stress and anxiety, and especially if one is appearing for the examination where roads ahead are uncertain. So even the anxiety tends to aggravate further. So in these times, one should take care of the mental health and not let a particular examination or a particular scenario surmount oneself. I want to give an analogy of a bag. If one has a bag of 10 balls, imagine, then if I asked to pick any 5 balls, then the rest 5 balls that were not picked were not less competent, or they were not good. It is not that they were not good enough. It is just that one was asked to pick any 5. So similarly, when it comes to competitive examinations, the seats are quite less. So if one, despite giving all the efforts, is not picked up from the back, it is not that you are less competent or you have something lacking in your personality or in your efforts. It can be because of the system or the lack of vacancies and factors like such. So we need to focus upon the controllable factors and leave the uncontrollable factors to destiny or to nature, and not worry about them too much.
Wonderful. It was so wonderful talking to you, Manu. And Vandana ji, I'd like to congratulate, first of all, Manu, my student. You are not only a great pride for yourself, for your family, but for your alma mater, St. Xavier's, for your teachers who have worked with you and walked with you and have guided you and inspired you. We also feel very proud at this moment, and we wish you really all the best for the future, because there may be more challenges in your way, but I'm sure you'll overcome all the challenges and keep flying high the way you have done so far. Vandana ji, it was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so
sir.
much. Thank you so much.